Okay, let's study the chapter Cherry Tree written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian but a British origin poet who spent most of his time in Dehradun in the hilly area, and he wrote most of his poetry and the poems that he wrote, it was all about the hill and the hilly people. He is known for the literature of he is very famous for children literature in India. Ruskin Bond won Sahitya Akademi Award and many other awards in India. This lesson, The Cherry Tree, is about a boy, Rakesh, who plants a tree. And he particularly plants a cherry tree. Let's see how he plants the tree and what happens. Does the tree grow? And what are the challenges he faces? And what is there in planting a tree? When you plant something from nothing and when it becomes something, how does that feel? In the warm up, you can see there is a puzzle and you have to do it yourself. Once you read the chapter, you understand the chapter, you can come back to this and you can start doing. If you face difficulty in solving these, you can take help of the dictionary. Let's begin. Rakesh lives with his grandfather in a very small cottage in the Himalayan foothills. And he lives with his grandfather because his parents live in a very small village, some 50 miles inside, and there are no schools there. So he had to come with his grandfather to Mussoorie to live and pursue his education. One day, when Rakesh was 7, he walked home from Mussoorie Bazaar eating cherries. He went to Bazaar, bought some cherries, and he was eating them. While eating, he came back home. They were a little sweet and a little sour. You know how cherries taste. They're sweet as well as sour. And they were small, bright red cherries. Cherries are very tiny. They're small. The color is red, very bright red, which had come all the way from Kashmir Valley. Now, these cherries had come from Kashmir Valley. And Rakesh, by the sound of it, you can understand, he loved cherries so much. By the time he reached home, there were only 3 cherries left with him in his palm. There is a question you can see. From where did Rakesh get the cherries? He got it from the bazaar of Mussoorie. When he saw his grandfather, he said, "Have a cherry, Dada." When he saw his grandfather in the garden working, he offered him to have a cherry. Grandfather took 1 cherry and Rakesh promptly ate the other 2. So grandfather ate 1 out of courtesy and he ate the other 2. He kept the last seed in his mouth for a long time, rolling it around until the tang had gone. You know how we kids do it. We eat something and that seed remains in our mouth for a longer period of time. We just keep it rolling in our mouth until the tang, which is the sharp taste of something, is gone, whether that's sweet or sour. So he was doing the same thing. He kept the seed for a longer period of time into his mouth. Then he placed the seed on his palm of his hand. Then he brought it into his palm and he was looking at the seed. By looking at the seed, he asked a question, addressing his grandfather. He asked, are cherry seeds lucky? Which means if I plant it, can they grow? Grandfather said, of course, but nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must put it to some use. He said, of course cherry trees are lucky, but you have to bring it to use. Unless you bring it to use, there's nothing in this world that could become lucky. So he asked a question, what can I do with the seed? Grandfather said, plant it. So Rakesh found a small space and began to dig up a flower bed. Then he went to his garden, found a small spot, started to dig up, started to make the earth bed ready so that he can put it inside. Then all of a sudden he became happy and he said, I will plant it here. Grandfather warned him. Grandfather told him, I don't think this is a good idea. Grandfather said, I don't think you should plant it there. I have sown mustard in that flower bed. The spot where you made the flower bed, I have already sown mustard seeds over there. And if you plant it there, it will mix up with the mustard seed and it may not grow. So plant it in that shady corner where it won't be disturbed. So you plant it in a different place. Go to that corner, make a flower bed out there, dig it up, and plant it there. Rakesh went to the corner of the garden. He pressed the seed into the soil with his thumb and it went right in. So he went there, put it inside with the help of his thumb, and the seed was inside the earth. Then he had his lunch and ran off to play cricket with his friends. Then he forgot about it. Forgot about the cherry tree entirely. Went to have lunch and then played with his friends. When it was winter in the hills, a cold wind blew down from the mountains and went woo, woo, woo in the deodar trees. Now it was the winter, and as you know, it's the foothills of the Himalayas, therefore it's very cold. A cold wind started to blow there in the mountains, always. And Ruskin Bond has tried to give the sound of the wind. The wind was blowing something like woo, woo, woo. And through the deodar trees. Deodar is a kind of a tree that grows especially around the Himalayas foothills. In the evenings, grandfather and Rakesh sat outside near a charcoal fire. So there was this evening and it was cold. So they lit a fire with charcoal. Charcoal is a substance, black substance that is made to ignite fire. And grandfather told him stories about people who turned into animals. It's like fairy tales, Also, he talked about beans that jumped and stones that wept, stones that cried. You know how our grandfathers tell us stories. So it was just the same. Evenings were fun when our grandparents were there. Luckily, you may have. I don't. They knew it was spring and when the wild ducks flew north again to Siberia. Now they knew that it was the spring season and the wild ducks that are there in the northern Himalayas, they don't stay in the winter there, they fly to Siberia. Early in the morning when he got up to chop wood and light a fire, Rakesh saw the V-shaped formation flying northward. So the other morning when he woke up early to chop up some wood, to cut some wood, so that he can light a fire, because in the foothills everybody works, It's not like us. They don't lead a lazy morning. So he woke up and when he looked at the sky, he saw a V-shaped formation. All these wild ducks, geese, everything that fly in the winter season to Siberia, they fly in a V shape because that V shape helps them fly faster. So he saw that. It was the time of the year. One morning in the garden, Rakesh bent to pick it up, what he thought was a small twig. So one morning he was walking on the garden. It's been a year already. It's been a year. And he was walking on the garden. All of a sudden he saw a twig. He felt like it might be a broken branch or like a small weed or something. He bent down to pick it up. He found to his surprise that it was well rooted. So when he tried to pick it up, he found that it's hard, it's not coming out. He ran to fetch his grandfather. He ran calling his grandfather, Dada, Dada. And what did he say? He said, Dada, come and look. The cherry tree has come up. So it was the cherry tree that they planted last year. Grandfather already forgot because he's an old man. He said, what cherry tree? What are you talking about? Then he said, the seed we planted last year. Look, you remember? It has come up. As you can see in the picture, he's looking at the seed. Grandfather is happy and he's also very, very happy. Because when you plant something and it comes up, it gives you immense happy feeling. They both bent down and peered at the tiny tree. So both of them bent their knees, got it down, and had a great look at the tiny tree. Then grandfather said, yes, it's a cherry tree. You should water it now and then. And said, yeah, it's your cherry tree. It has come up. Now, you would have a job. You have to water it every now and then. Rakesh went indoors and came back with a watering can. Rakesh ran inside, got the watering can. How we have the watering can to water the plants. It sprinkles water all over the plant. and it's something like a jar, as you can see on the picture. So he brought it down because grandfather had a garden, so he already had those tools. Then grandfather started laughing and he said, "Don't drown it. Do not drown the entire tree. Do not put too much water. Don't pour too much water onto the plant. Do it as much as it's required." Rakesh gave it a sprinkling and circled it with pebbles. Then Rakesh didn't put much water. He didn't pour much water. He gave as much as it was required. And then he circled the entire tree with pebbles, small stones, as you can see on the picture. Then he asked his grandfather, "What are the pebbles for? Why have we circled the tree with pebbles?" Grandfather asked him actually. This time he didn't ask grandfather. So he said, "For privacy." Privacy here means so that no other roots or no other weed or unwanted trees or plants should disturb his cherry tree. That year the monsoon rains came early. Monsoon wind comes every year, and monsoon is about to start. It has already started in our region. So that year in the Himalayan foothills, monsoon came early. Monsoons sometimes come early, sometimes they get delayed, depending on the weather and the climatic responses of the earth. So that year, where Rakesh and his grandfather was living, the monsoon rains came early. It started raining early. Ferns sprang from the trunks of trees. Ferns is like you can say they're like the flowers or flowerless plants, flowerless plants, where you just have leaves, enough leaves. So they started to come out from the trees. The trees dripped as the mist came curling up the valley, and all the trees were wet when the mist, which means fog, came covering the entire valley. In the monsoon, when the monsoon rain happens early in the morning, or perhaps in the evenings, you can see huge curtain of fog in the foothills, in the hilly areas. So it was something like that happening where Rakesh and his grandfather was living. Means their entire garden and the entire valley. The cherry tree grew quickly in this season. So their cherry tree grew very quickly in that particular season. Then something tragic happened. Let's see. It was about 2 feet high when a goat entered the garden and ate all the leaves. So the tree was 2 feet tall. When all of a sudden, one day, a goat entered into their garden and ate all the leaves of the tree. And only the main stem and 2 thin branches remained. So nothing on the tree remained other than the stem and 2 small twigs, or you can say branches. No leaves could be seen. Grandfather, when he saw Rakesh was upset, he said, "Never mind, don't worry. It'll grow again. Cherry trees are tough." He said cherry trees do not, die so easily. So it'll come up again. Don't be sad. Towards the end of the rainy season, new leaves appeared on the tree. So again, by the end of monsoon, new leaves appeared on the tree. Then another tragedy happened. Then a woman cutting grass came down the hillside. Her saidi is like a bent instrument through which people cut wild bushes, trees, or small plants. So there is this woman that came, with a tool in her hand from the hillside by swishing through the heavy monsoon foliage, and she was cutting all the unnecessary leaves that she could find on her way. She did not try to avoid the tree. So when she was doing that, means they hired that woman to, trim a little bit of the garden so that the garden looks nice, the insects or other kinds of organisms shouldn't come and enter their house. So they hired that lady. So when that lady was doing, she didn't care, and she even balanced the cherry tree, cut it down into 2 pieces. One sweep, and the cherry tree was cut into 2. And she cut the cherry tree into 2 parts. When grandfather saw what happened, he went after the woman and scolded her, but the damage could not be repaired. Grandfather scolded the woman, but the damage was too heavy and nothing could be done. Rakesh said. Rakesh was very sad and he said, maybe it will die now. But the cherry tree had no intention of dying. You see, the cherry tree didn't want to die. It's like it was never losing the hope. By the time summer came around again, and it had sent out several new shoots with tender green leaves. So it was summer season again. And leaves came from that cherry tree again. You can see the disaster it was going through, and still it was giving leaves after leaves. Rakesh had also grown taller, and now he was 8 years old, a sturdy boy with curly black hair and deep eyes. He had black eyes, he was tall, he was strong, and he had curly hair, and his hair was completely black. One day he found a bright green praying mantis perched on a branch. Praying mantis is an animal, a green animal. Not an animal, sorry, it's an insect. So he found that sitting on the branch of his tree. It was the cherry tree's first visitor. So he was very happy because for the first time, some sort of species came and sat on the tree. You know how the insects come and sit on the plants and trees. The next visitor was a hairy caterpillar who started eating the leaves. So next, he saw a caterpillar and he was very concerned. Rakesh removed it quickly and dropped it on a heap of dry leaves. He immediately went there and removed it because now he was more cautious. He addressed the caterpillar. He said, come back when you are a butterfly. You know how caterpillars become butterfly later on. So he said, come back when you become a butterfly. Now winter came early again the other year. Cherry tree bent low with the weight of snow. Winter came. Cherry tree was bent because there was heavy snow on it. Then in February, it was Rakesh's birthday. February came, it was his birthday. He was 9 and the tree was 3. He was of 9 years now and the tree was of 3 years. But it was almost as tall as Rakesh. But the tree became as tall as Rakesh in just 3 years. One morning when the sun came out, grandfather went into the garden. So then another morning when the sun came up, grandfather went to the garden. He stared at the cherry tree and then called, Rakesh, come and look. This time he looked at the cherry tree, called Rakesh. He said, Rakesh, come and look. Rakesh and grandfather gazed at the tree. So Rakesh and grandfather came and they started looking at the tree. There was a pale pink blossom at the end of the branch. So all they can see was a flower at the end of a branch, which means cherries are coming. The following year, there were more blossoms. So the year later, they could see more flowers on the tree. And suddenly the tree was taller than Rakesh. And all of a sudden the tree became more and more taller than Rakesh. And then it was taller than grandfather. Then it grew more taller. It became taller than grandfather, who was older than some oak trees. His grandfather was older than some oak trees, which means his grandfather was quite aged. But Rakesh had grown too, and Rakesh was also growing up quite fast. He could run and jump and climb trees as most boys, and he read a lot. And he could, jump, he could run, he could climb trees. As he comes from the hilly regions. And he read a lot of books. He loved reading books. Although he still liked listening to grandfather's stories. He read stories from the books, but he still loved listening to grandfather's stories. Bees came to feed on the nectar in the blossoms of a tree. Then, on that particular tree, bees started to come to fetch nectar, and tiny birds pecked at the blossoms and broke them off. And tiny birds started to come and, get some of the nectar from the flowers, and in the process of that, they broke most of them. But the tree kept blooming, but the tree didn't stop. It just kept blooming and blooming. It started giving flowers and it didn't stop. That summer, there were small cherries on the tree. On that particular summer, they could see small cherries coming up on that tree. Rakesh tasted one and spat it out. Rakesh went and he tasted one, took one in his hand and he immediately tasted it. It was very sour. So he said, it's too sour. Grandfather then replied, they will be better next year. Don't worry, by the next year, they'll be better and they will give you a sweet and a sour taste altogether. A few days later, on a warm, sunny afternoon, Rakesh went into the garden and lay down on the grass beneath the tree. So, after a few days, it was warm in the afternoon, it was summer. Rakesh went into his garden and lay there beneath that tree because that tree gave a like a quite satisfactory shade. He gazed up through the leaves at the greatest blue sky. So he started to look at the sky, but through the sky, through the branches of that particular tree into the sky. Grandfather came outside too, and he waited in silence until the stars came out. So they were just there, and until the stars came out, means all the evening they spent there. Then Rakesh said something. He said, "There are so many trees in the forest. Why do you like this tree so much?" Then he asked grandfather, "There are so many trees in the forest. Why do you like this particular tree, this particular cherry tree so much?" Grandfather replied, "Because we planted it ourselves. Because this tree we planted. It didn't grow on its own. We planted it." Then Rakesh said, "Just one small seed. Remember, we put one small seed into the ground." He touched the smooth bark of the tree, and then he was like trying to touch the tree that had grown. And then he said, "I wonder, is that what it feels like to be God?" Then he said, "Is this the feeling of God?" Because you see, God can give you life. And when you put a seed into the earth and that comes to life, so he's saying, is this how God works? Is this how the nature works? So with this beautiful touchy, the story ends. I hope you understood it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and the answers will be provided pretty soon.